Krishna, welcome devotees to the Gita Daily session. Today's Sloka is 1858. I would like to thank all devotees for joining regularly. So let's start by taking the blessings of the Lord. Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Mai Sudarshan, Lakshmi Nrsimhadev, Gaurnitai Pancharatva. Let's pray that by their mercy and blessings we can understand the transcendental topics of Bhagavad Gita. So let's recite the prayers together. Please repeat along with me. Om Adnanatimirandasya Tananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhudale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nidinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatiri Shatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we'll dedicate our session to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. By His mercy, we are able to understand Bhagavad Gita and also able to apply it in a practical way. So let's thank Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So today's sloka is 1858. So please repeat along with me. Matchitta sarva durgani mat prasada tarishyasi adachetvam ahankaran na shroshasi vinakshasi. Repetition. Matchitta sarva durgani mat prasada tarishyasi adachetvam ahankaran na shroshasi vinakshasi. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness, but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. Word meaning. Mat of me, chitta, being in consciousness, sarva, all, durgani, impediments, mat prasadat, by my mercy, tarishyasi, you will overcome. Atha, but, chet, if, tvam, you, ahankarat, by false ego, na shroshasi, do not hear, vinakshasi, you will be lost. You can see the translation. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness, but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. So, setting the context, so we are now discussing the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is the last chapter. And the last session, we discussed about how actually the Lord can be understood. No, so we saw 1855. Bhakti Amam Abhishanati. Right? This is the last sloka we discussed. So Bhakti Amam Abhishanati. Avan Ishchashma Tattvada. Tado Man Tattva Datva Vishadetanandaram. So in the last sloka, the Lord actually categorically established, right? We saw systematically by various scriptural references, how the Lord can be fully understood. Fully understood in the sense, whatever extent possible, because the Lord never can be understood completely. Because his glories are unlimited and it is ever expanding. So nobody can understand the Lord fully. But in whatever possible extent, maximum, the best possible, the Lord can be understood only by devotional service. We saw by no other process like Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, by performing austerities, nor by any other process the Lord can be fully understood. But so basically that is because the Lord could be understood only when He reveals Himself. When He pleases the devotee by His devotional service, His sincerity, right? Then the Lord actually reveals Himself. But otherwise, there is no other way that by our endeavor we can understand the Lord. So this is what we saw. So in today's sloka, Krishna actually is giving assurance again. So we have seen various slokas, but the Lord actually gives assurance to Arjuna, right? And Arjuna is representing all of us. No, it is not just the conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. We have seen that this knowledge is timeless, and it is the Vedic knowledge, right, which actually is given, establishing eternally. As long with the creation, the Vedic knowledge also exists, and Vedic knowledge has various parts, and the most confidential part is devotional service. So Krishna says in the 4th chapter, to Arjuna, that this knowledge I have already spoken to Sun God many millions of years ago. And we have seen that the Lord actually imparted the knowledge first to Lord Brahmaji in the beginning of the creation. So this knowledge is eternal, and Arjuna is representing all of us. right? And Krishna chose Arjuna to speak Bhagavad Gita because Arjuna is a grihastha. Otherwise, if Arjuna had spoken this to a rishi or muni, we will think, okay, oh, this is not for us, only for rishis and such people who are renounced. It is no. So Arjuna is a householder, right? And he was a kshatriya, and he has many duties to discharge. And Krishna chose Arjuna so that he is a representative of all of us. Generally, he is representative of all human beings. So there is no excuse, that it is not for us, right? So this way, Arjuna is Krishna is a guy. So Krishna is assuring Arjuna that earlier also we saw the similar assurance. Krishna says, whatever is lack, I will give actually, right, a devotee. So similarly, here actually Krishna says Arjuna that you whatever difficulties are coming in your life, right, all of them you can pass through. You can pass over them by my grace. So let us look at the keywords. Mat chitta. So being conscious of me or consciousness fixed in me. So this means that always, we have seen that always remember Krishna, right? So tasma sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmritija mayarpida manobuddhir mame vashi samshya. So we have seen this same particular theme which is repeating in Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna says always, if you are always conscious about me, then what happens? Sarva Durgani. So Sarva Durgani means all the obstacles, all difficulties or challenges which are facing. So here Krishna is not just telling that now you will be able to face the spiritual difficulties or difficulties in the part of bhakti. He says that all difficulties. So not only the difficulties in the part of bhakti, but also the material challenges that we face. Everybody, we all go through so many difficulties in our life. So Krishna says that all Sarva Durgani includes all obstacles, like material, spiritual, everything, karmic challenges. So Krishna is saying that all obstacles, whatever obstacles which are coming, right? Mat prasadat, by mercy. So by Lord's mercy, Krishna is saying, all the obstacles, what he says, tarishyasi, you will be able to cross over. So Krishna doesn't say, oh Arjuna, because you are surrendered to me, you will not have any obstacles in your life. It doesn't say that. So this implies that obstacles will come still. But what is the Lord assuring us? That you will be able to pass over them. By Lord's mercy, we will be able to cross over them. So whatever challenges or test which comes in our life, right, we will be able to pass it over. So this way the Lord, but then that is basically, this means the Lord will be like a friend, right, who actually will never fail you, because the material friends in our life, they will have limitations. They will may be able to sometimes help, they may not be able to help sometimes help. But when you have a friend or somebody who actually can protect you, we will be free from anxiety, right? So here the Lord is the greatest person. He is the source of everything. He is the controller of Maya, and he is assuring us that he will protect us. He will be there with us, if we completely depend on the Lord. And then the other part, Lord says, Ahankara nashroshasi. And because of false ego, if you're not listening to this, or if you're not following these instructions, whichever I'm giving, then actually you will be lost. Basically, that means that you will not be able to pass all the difficulties in the life. So basically, so this is like, so Krishna is saying what happens if you follow and what happens if you not follow. So normally this kind of this kind of assurance or this kind of discussion normally happens to re-emphasize that point. So what happens if you follow and what happens if you do not follow? So let's look at more detail today's shloka. So the essential point is that when we depend on the Lord, right, then actually the Lord is assuring that he will protect us from all the difficulties. He will be with us in the challenges, and he will ensure that we are able to pass over. So sometimes, so we see the Acharya says that the Lord actually tests the devotee, right? So whether we are serious, how much we are serious, and also we have seen earlier multiple times, the principle that the Lord reciprocates according to the extent we surrender. So when we are not at all surrendered to the Lord, then the Lord actually is not interfering in our karma, because the Lord actually is supreme, right? He is the source of everything. He is eternally residing in the Goloka, and he is expanded everywhere in the creation by his various energies, and the external energy is conducting the material world, and through Mahavishnu, right, is a partial expansion. The material world is conducted. So generally, the Lord is not going to interfere in the karma of the jivas. It happens automatically, just like a huge factory works automatically, right, through the managers and other supervisors. It works automatically. The Lord doesn't come every day and check what each person is doing, but then he is also present as Paramatma in the heart of every jiva, right, by which he knows, is conscious, is cognizant of everything. So the Lord, for a person who is going by his own strength, right, who is thinking that I am the controller of everything, I am this body, right, and I am the Lord of everything, the Lord actually doesn't interfere in his karma. He goes, he keep getting his reaction. and he keeps on becoming entangled. So this is the normal course of majority of the people in the material world. But however, one who actually is fortunate, who has taken shelter of the Lord actually takes care of those devotees, right? So ye tamam prabodhante tam tadeva bhajamyaham. So according to the extent of surrender, the Lord actually interferes, or no, Lord helps the jiva. So this way the Lord actually reciprocates with the jiva, and the reciprocation is to the extent of the surrender. So, so this what is this principle or this shloka is very important for us, because it is also telling how we can become free from anxiety. Because in material world, no, everybody is full of anxiety, right? So this place is called Dukalayam, Ashashwatam, and the spiritual world is known as Vaikuntha, right, where there is no anxiety. That means the material world is a place of anxiety, and everybody is every time, so now and then we always are in anxiety. And why this anxiety happens? Because we think that we are the Lord or we are the controller of everything, right? And then we think that I have to do this, I have to do that, so that no, I can prevent this particular situation. I have to do this. So basically we are always thinking that we are actually the doer, and because of that proprietorship and the false ego, right, the anxiety is a byproduct of that. So we are always anxious. And how can we get rid of the anxiousness? Is by depending on the Lord. Because the Lord actually, a small child, no, if you look at a small child, an innocent child, he is never anxious. Because he knows that my father and mother, they will protect me. My parents are there to protect me. Right? So he doesn't worry, today will I get my food, tomorrow will get my food. Or no, whether I'll be unattended. So he doesn't worry about it because he knows that my parents are always there. So similarly, when we develop faith in the Lord as Supreme Father, right, who is told that Aham Bija Pradapita, he's the original father of every jiva, and he's more anxious to get us back. So when we depend on the Lord, right, and take shelter of Him, then we can become free from all anxieties. Such a pure devotee who actually has taken full shelter of the Lord, he doesn't have any anxiety. So we can see Arjuna also, no, in the beginning he was completely bewildered and confused, and he was very anxious. What will happen? Whether I'll get sin? So many things he was having. But then when he gradually takes shelter of the Lord, in the end actually becomes free from all anxiety, and he says that I am now clear. My mind is clear. So similarly, we can also become free from anxiety when we take shelter of the Lord. So this is the essential principle, no, of today's sloka. And what is the main obstacle for us to take shelter of the Lord is our false ego. Because actually, no, we have seen earlier multiple discussion sessions that the jiva's main reason for coming in the material world is because he wanted to enjoy and he did not want to surrender, did not want to accept the will of the Lord, right? So that is why he came here. And this false ego is the primary reason that we don't want to take shelter of the Lord, because we think that okay, we ourselves are the controller, and I can do everything, I can manage this, I can manage that, and I am the controller, I am the Lord of everything. So this mentality of false ego, thinking that I am this body, right? Because of this mentality, the jiva doesn't want to doesn't want to surrender to anybody. No, forget about the Lord. We don't want to surrender to anybody, right? We never like to surrender to anybody. So this is the fundamental cause that we don't want to take shelter or surrender to the Lord. So that is why also many people, many of the spiritualists, they're attracted to the impersonal path, because in the impersonal path there is only light on Brahman, and then there is no question of surrendering to something impersonal, right? So they try to avoid surrender by various mechanisms. Even when they become spiritualists, they try to avoid it. But then when who want to understand Krishna as he is, as we discussed in the last sloka, as a person who is supreme personality of Godhead, then there is a question of exchanging relationship with the Lord, right? Then there is a question of surrender or become being dependent on the Lord. When the Lord is a person, we depend. So we depend on our relatives sometimes. We depend on our parents, we depend on our spouse, we depend on our friends. This is only possible when there is a person available, right? When there is a light, how can we depend on the light, or how the light can reciprocate with you? It is not possible. So this is a it is called this impersonal concept is the last snare of Maya. No, is the last trap of Maya. So Maya actually doesn't easily allow the jiva to get out from here, because she want to ensure that the jiva is very serious, right? So that he doesn't commit the same mistake again, right? So similarly, the Lord also tests us. So so Krishna says that Matchitta Sarva Durgani Mat Prasada Tarishari. So one who takes shelter of the Lord, right? Then the Lord actually is pleased with such devotee. And then the Lord actually ensures that the Lord stands with the devotee in all difficulties. And he will protect the devotee, and no, he will try to pass through the difficulties. So sometimes what happens, people misunderstand. Now, sometimes what happens, we see that a devotee also sometimes suffers, and a non-devotee also suffers, or somebody takes up the path of devotion, and still there are problems in his life. So they may not get the faith. They may think that okay, I'm trying to become a devotee, but still there are so many problems in my life. So we need to understand that the problems in the life of a devotee and the problems in the life of non-devotee, externally it looks the same, but actually the mechanism how the devotees pass through the obstacle, it is completely different. right? So one, we have seen the example of how the cat carrying, the kitten, and the monkey carrying uh, the baby monkey, right? So similarly, externally it may look similar, they are just carrying, but then how the person experience it, it is very difficult, very different. so so in a devotee's life, the problems are coming for purification, right? So the basically the karma, the prarabdha karma that we acquire, basically there's a lot, there are different kinds of karma, and prarabdha karma is the quota of karma that we have to go through in this life. So it is very difficult to overcome the prarabdha karma normally, right? So even when we become a devotee, actually the Lord gives us a token of the karma. So for example, somebody has to die in an accident, or no, somebody has to they give the typical example. If your head was supposed to cut off, right, the Lord will give a token, so that your head is not cut, but in your hair is cut, right? So you will get a small token of the punishment, or the reaction of the karma which you are supposed to, and then that is meant for the purification. But then eventually the devotee actually comes out successful from the situation whatever he is going through. And sometimes the Lord puts the devotee into difficulty, right? So for purification or for testing, just to see how serious are we, how serious or how determined are we to get out of cycle of birth and death, how serious are we, to go back to him. So sometimes the Lord puts us in different tests. So the apparently from external perspective, the difficulties of a devotee and a difficulty of a non-devotee would looks the same. But then a devotee who is fully depending on Krishna, he will not get affected by the difficulties. Even if a devotee actually has to undergo some disease, some serious disease also, right? He will not be affected. He will go through the disease, but then he will not get affected. So whether getting affected and just going through some situation, both are different. So you may go through a situation, but how it is going to affect you is ultimately what actually finally matters. So a devotee who has taken shelter, he will not get affected by the challenges or difficulties, and because of the Lord's protection, he will be able to pass over that obstacle. So these are some subtle differences, how a devotee goes through a challenge, and a non-devotee goes through a challenge. So, and every time the devotee goes through a challenge, he becomes more and more purified, and because he is fully depending on the Lord, his faith in the Lord will increase. So this way the Lord actually purifies the devotees, he purifies his karma. So we have seen earlier, Krishna says that Yogakshemam Mahamyam, right? Ananyas Chindayantomam Ye Jana Parivasare Tesham Sarati Yuktanam Yogakshemam Mahamyam. So Krishna says, I personally carries the devotee. So we have seen the story of Brahmana, right? Who actually was not sure about the shloka. No, he cuts that shloka, so he was not sure whether the Lord will personally come. So we have seen that example where actually Lord comes directly as a person. So similarly, so the Lord actually can do anything for the devotee. So, but then it depends on our faith, how much faith we are having. And also we should understand one fact that we should do our part. Actually, it is not that okay, I'm fully surrendered and I just sit at home. No, I don't do anything. The Lord will give me the salary. The Lord give everything what is required. That is not the right understanding. So basically, it works like we have to endeavor. The jiva has to endeavor from his side, and then actually wait for the mercy of the Lord. So the endeavor and the mercy both are required for the final success, right? So we have to do our part as a jiva. We have free will, so we have to do our duty, we have to do our responsibility, but at the same time understand that the Lord actually is the controller of everything. We are not the controller, and we have to depend on the Lord's mercy, right? So this way we can pass through all the obstacles, right? So this is the essential understanding. So it has to be very clear that when we become devotee, it doesn't mean that our life become full of bed of roses, or it becomes like a cakewalk. That is not the understanding actually, right? Because all of us are conditioned so many lifetimes, right? So we have, unless until we become purified and get the quality of pure devotees, we cannot enter the spiritual realm. So we have to, so to become purified, sometimes like when you have a disease, we have to take bitter pills, right? Or sometimes we have to undergo surgery. So there has to be some difficulties to become purified. So that actually we need to be prepared with that. But then we should have faith, in complete faith in the Lord, that Lord will take care of the situation. He will help us. So this is very important. So there is a shloka in Srimad Bhagavatam 10:14:8. One second. So this shloka, I think we have seen it earlier also. So basically, this shloka says how the Lord, the devotee depends on the mercy of the Lord. So actually, the Lord Brahma is speaking this. So let's see the shloka. It says, Tatenukamba susumikshmano bunjana evam kritam vipagam hridvagavabir viradan namaste jivete yo mukti pade sadabhayadayavak. What it says, my dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reactions of his past misdeeds and offering you respectful obeisances with his heart, words, and body, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. So basically, this is the tendency of a pure devotee. So he, whatever difficulties which comes in his life, he will not blame the Lord. No, you will not think that, oh, why it has happened to me, or why your Lord actually so no does not showing mercy upon me. Why I'm going through? So you will not think like that. You will think that actually I should have suffered much more because of my past sinful reaction, but because of the mercy of the Lord, no, He has only given me a token of punishment, and he eagerly, patiently waits for the Lord to shower the mercy. So this is the mentality of the devotee, actually, how actually tolerates the challenges or difficulties which comes in life. Right. So if for such a devotee, the Lord actually becomes very merciful and becomes very pleased. And no, and actually he goes out of his way to help such devotees. Okay, so there are many shlokas which are echoing the similar meaning actually. So we will quickly go through it. So Bhagavad Gita 12.6 and 7. So I'll read only the translation because there is no time. But those who worship me, giving up all activities unto me, and being devoted to me without deviation, engage in devotional service, and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Partha, Pradha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Again, the Lord is assuring now how He takes care of the devotee. 9:22, we have seen this now. Ananyas chintayanto mam yajana parivasade, tesham nitya abhyuktanam, yogakshemam vahamyam. But those who have always worshipped me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. So we don't lose what we are having. No, Lord actually takes care of the devotee. He knows exactly what is going in our heart because He's Paramatma, situated in the heart. 10:11 says, Tesham evanukampartam aham adnanadam tama. Nashayami atma bhavasto jnana basuta. Tesham evanukamba. So Krishna, the Lord actually is very merciful. He takes, he is compassionate to such devotee. To show them special mercy, I dwelling in their heart, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. So this way the Lord actually gives the intelligence and knowledge to the devotee. And then 1866 we will see in a couple of days. So it says Sarva Dharman Paritejya Mamekam Sharanam Braja Aham Tvam Sarva Pabebhyo Mokshekshami Mashuda. Mashuda, Lord says, don't fear, do not worry. I will take care actually. When you depend on me, I will I will completely take care of you. And don't worry about your sinful reaction. So this way the Lord ensures devotee. So what is the final conclusion? The conclusion is like this in 10:14:58. Srimad Bhagavatam says, Samashritte ye padapallavaplabam mahat padam punya yasho murare bhavam budirvatsa padam param padam 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 yad vipadam natesham. So what actually says, for those who have accepted the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of the cosmic manifestation and is famous as Murari, the enemy of Muradaman, the ocean of material world is like the water contained in the calf blueprint. Their goal is Parampadam, Vaikuntha, the place where there are no material miseries, not the place where there is danger in every step. So here it is mentioned Parampadam. So one who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, right? This huge material existence is like a huge ocean. It is called Bhavambudhi or Bhavasagara, which is impossible for the jiva to cross over by his own endeavor. But one who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunta, this ocean will appear like the footprint of the calf, the water which is contained in the hoof print. It's a small puddle of water, no? We can easily jump over. So the otherwise unsurmountable ocean of material existence becomes very easy to cross over when one who takes shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. And his destination is Vaikuntha, right? And it is mentioned that this material world is a place where there is danger in every step. Padam padam yad vipadam. No, every step there is danger in this material world. And so what that only solution is to take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Fully take shelter of the Lord. So like that, no, that it is mentioned. So that is the essential conclusion of what we can understand. So we look at a small story of Damodara. So actually, this incident happened when Krishna was 2 years old in Vrindavan, and this incident gives the summary of the incident is that there are two aspects actually which are required. We have seen it earlier. One is the endeavor of the devotee, and second is the mercy of the Lord. Both are required, right? Both are to act. So once Yashoda was actually feeding Krishna, when he was about 2 years old, and she was happily or blissfully singing the glories of the Lord. And suddenly she noticed that the milk was kept on the stove for boiling in the kitchen. And so suddenly Yashoda will place Krishna down and goes to attend the milk. Then Krishna becomes angry. He become because he is neglected. He feel that he is feel neglected, and this is all pastimes of the Lord. No, it is so like a small child. Actually, he becomes angry, and Krishna will go to the kitchen. He would break all the pots, butter pots, everything, and then he distribute the butter to the monkeys. So this is something. No, this kind of mischiefs Krishna used to do when he was very small. And when Yashoda returned, he saw that it's complete mess everywhere, and she become very angry, and she want to discipline him. So then Krishna Yashoda will chase Krishna. Krishna will start running. Though he was very small, Krishna will start running, and Yashoda will run behind her. And it is mentioned Yashoda was little hefty, and after some time she becomes very tired. And it is mentioned that even the great yogis, they are not able to capture the Lord. But Yashoda, out of her love for Krishna, and Krishna, when he sees that she is tired, Krishna becomes compassionate on her, and Krishna will slow down and allow to be caught. So this way, Yashoda will catch Krishna, and Krishna want to tie her. Tie. So Krishna will Yashoda will get some rope, and she will try to tie Krishna around the mortar. There's a grinding mortar is there. So Krishna will act like he is very afraid actually. So Krishna is mentioned. It is mentioned. Acharya says that the fear personified. The death is called fear personified. The death actually, the fear personified fears Krishna. But then to increase the rasa of the pastime, Krishna will behave as if Krishna is very afraid of Yashoda. And then he will cry. And it is mentioned that the mascara of the eyes, everything actually spreads in the face, and Krishna will sob. And so Yashoda becomes compassionate, but nevertheless she thought, if I leave him like this, he will become more and more naughty. So he wanted to teach him a lesson. So he'll try to tie. But what happens when she was about to tie, the rope is two fingers short. Then actually she will tie multiple ropes, and every time whatever she tries to do, it is always two fingers short. So then all the gopis will help Yashoda. No, they'll all bring all the ropes from the Vrindavan, and whatever they do, always the rope is two fingers short. So finally, when Krishna becomes merciful by seeing all their effort, he will allow her to tie. So the essential point is that our endeavor is not sufficient, because Yashoda tried to endeavor by various means with the help of everybody, but whatever she do, always it is incomplete. Right? When finally the Lord became merciful and he allowed her to be tied, then actually she was able to tie. So similarly, we need to understand that both are important actually. No, we cannot just wait for the mercy of the Lord without doing our part. Right? Or at the same time, if whatever we try to endeavor, if there is no mercy of Lord, then actually we cannot get the ultimate result. So this is the essential point now of the today's pastime of the Lord. So what are the takeaways? So most important takeaway is that how can we become free from anxiety, right? So that is the most important takeaway we should take from today's assurance of the Lord. So we should have faith in the Lord, and understand that when we depend on the Lord, right, then actually we can become free from anxiety. So we have to start depending on the Lord. So we have to become Krishna conscious. No, Krishna. The essential point of Krishna consciousness is try to remember the Lord always. Right. So there's a saying: no, always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. So how can we do? One of the practical ways that we can do is that we should try to memorize the shlokas. No, all the important shlokas, which actually has very powerful meaning, right? And which actually the Lord is assuring us. So those shlokas at least we should try to by heart and always remember it. So whenever we come across a difficulty, we can remember these shlokas, we can recite it in the mind, so that we can feel the protection of the Lord. So this way we can try to remember the Lord always, right? And then have faith in the Lord that the Lord actually can protect us completely, right? Because He is the controller of everything, and we are suffering because of the Maya's influence in the material body, right? We are covered by Maya, and we forgot our original identity, and Krishna is the controller of Maya. So we should be fully having confidence that the Lord is competent to protect us in any kind of difficulties. That faith should be there, right? And also we should not also not have the misunderstanding that no, when we depend on the Lord, there won't be any problems in our life. So we should have the faith that whatever is happening, when we take shelter of the Lord, we should have complete faith. Krishna knows everything, all our past lives, and what is going to happen in the future also. So we need to have full faith in the Lord that whatever is happening in our life is for our ultimate good. It's for our shreyas. We should have patience, right? And then depend on the Lord. So then actually we can become successful, right? So that is essential takeaway. So with that, I think we'll end. Today's time is already over. So, anybody has any questions, devotees, and they can unmute and ask. If somebody wants to leave at this point, they can leave. We'll chant Hare Krishna mantra thrice. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So one important thing I want to just mention. So today is a very auspicious day. It's Gaur Purnima. It's the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the most munificent and merciful incarnation in Kali Yuga. No, Krishna actually, out of compassion of the Jiva, by the prayer of Advaitacharya, the Lord descended as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Balram as Nityananda Prabhu. So they are the most merciful incarnations. So actually today is a very auspicious day. So we can do some spiritual activities. Try to read about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If anybody has time, they can go to temple. We have festival in the temple today, Kshatrapurna temple. So it's a very auspicious day. So whatever we can do today, that will have much more benefits. And by mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord actually is easily accessible. Otherwise, it is very difficult to approach Krishna. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very mercifully, he's freely distributing the love of God, freely distributing the glories of the holy name. So we can take advantage of the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by remembering him. And if possible, we can fast today, like whatever fasting we can do. The fasting is till moonrise. So till the moonrise, man, that means around Sandhya time. So till that the fasting, and today is also eclipse is there. So during that time, we don't eat anything. But essentially, try to remember the Lord more. Try to do spiritual activities. Try to read about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Charitamrita is available online in database. So or you can read about teachings of Lord Chaitanya. So there are many books. So whatever austerity we can take, we can take. But then at least try to read about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So take advantage of this auspicious day. Okay, so I hope there are no questions. And one more thing is that I just want to remind that we have only few more sessions left. So most probably, if we are able to continue as usual, then I think by next Monday we'll be completing the Bhagavad Gita, the 108 shlokas. So what I'm planning is that in the next couple of days, on based on how much our questions are having, next few days we will have a Q&A session at the same time. So if you have any questions, you can note down, and we can try to discuss that questions. If I can answer, I will try to answer. If I'm not able to answer, I will try to get the clarification from senior devotees, and I will try to clarify that questions. So, so we'll have that opportunity to clarify the questions, and subsequently, we plan to have Bhakti Viksha, a new course actually, which is in Internet for Systematic Progress in Bhakti. It's a curriculum kind of thing. So Bhakti Viksha will be more interactive sessions. So we can discuss more about it after once the course is over. But I just want to give a roadmap, what we are planning. So Bhakti Visha will happen only once in a week. Mostly it will be on Saturdays, Saturday evenings it will be. So this is the plan. Yeah. So you will get opportunity for clarifying the questions. I mainly want to just let the point, because of the short sessions we are having. No, it's very difficult to really discuss much more. So we'll get opportunity in that. Okay. So I would like to thank all devotees who are joined regularly. So we'll end here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna.